just a little maths. What do you think is the value of this building where we are? Yeah? Okay, that's a hard question. I want to talk with a banker. Let me talk with a banker to rescue you. There's some space here, which is under debate. It is used by like Regency for car park before GPO. Let me ask Erastus. He's a banker. What is the estimate value? It's an undeveloped property. It's an undeveloped property. What is the estimate value? $1 billion. Awesome. That's an undeveloped property. An undeveloped property. If you earned 1 million, walk with me through this if you can. If you earned 1 million, how much do you think you can save? Okay, forget that. If you earned 10,000 shillings, you just left school. You're earning 10,000. You have some house rent, you have some bus fare, you have some food, some clothing. There are some guys telling you they're doing their wedding. There are some people telling you their father has died. And you have to support all these fellows. Kenya, we are a benevolent nation. So how much are you going to save if you're earning 10,000? No. Let's assume you'll still have to save. 10%. 10%. If you're a disciplined person in saving, you can save 1,000 bob. Isn't it? Okay. Let's use the same scale. If you're earning 1 million, so you save how much? 100,000. Thank you so much. In 1 year, how much have you saved? 1.2 million. Awesome. Let's assume you're so lucky to have this job when you're 25. I've never had anyone at 25 in Kenya earning that. But let's assume you're that lucky. And you're able to work until the age of 55. So for 30 good years, you're saving 1.2 million per year for 30 years. How much is that? Kim, how much is that? That is 6 million. After 30 years earning $1 million, you'll be saying kuna plot hapa inaweza go 1 billion. Okay, let's be real. You can never buy it. Do you know what you'll be doing, Paul? Na hii nyumba ni ya Ginyo Kariuki. Yeah? Hii ninajuaga. Hii inakuwa Karume. One day your son will, na dad, where is yours? Do you realize that there is no one person who can own this property unless for sure there is something else they're doing, but not through their salary? Does that make sense to you? Yes. It is impossible. So, I think the young man did some maths and realized there is no way in his entire working career he's going to be in real estate. So he refused to follow the path that most of us follow. And he approached the owner of the land and said, hey, I have a gift. I don't have the money, but I can market. I can sell property. And he persuaded this person, because one of the skills we must admit today is that you must be able to package yourself, to brand yourself, to sell yourself. And the old man decided, yes, we can co-work. We're going to put up the buildings. Remember, the young man is bringing no coin. The old man will put up the building. The young man is bringing a promise. I'll sell the houses. At the age of 30 last year, Sigona Valley, most of you know it, was estimated at 300 million shillings. The young man is 30. 300 million shillings. A different way of approaching the whole idea. The conventional way, let's try saving. I guarantee you, that's why I was doing the maths with you. There is no amount of saving you'll do to own Sigona Valley. We realize that what you can save is that 6 million. So what am I saying? There will never be that moment when it is right for you to start. This idea of postponing until the right time comes will never reach. What happens is this: with age, your dream dies. Because the moment you start hitting 50, 55, 60, you accept your condition as it is. Mi nakuaga hivi. Mi nakuaga hivi sasa. But right now, we are at a certain age where we can change that definition. Believe me, I've never once met a happy loser. I've done a lot of motivational speeches, perhaps an average of 3 or 4 per week for over 15 years. Never once did someone ever tell me, I want to enter Guinness Book of Record for being failure. I want, when they bury me, my epitaph to be written, here was the dirtiest girl that ever lived, the poorest girl that ever lived. I want them to be amazed that I was a symbol of failure. Everybody wants to be successful. But the difference is that winners want to succeed today. Losers want to succeed tomorrow. I'm going to do a simple test. Yeah, A small gift. I think, thank God, I carried my wallet. 1,000 bob. 1,000 bob for you if you remember to say what I've told you. I'll tell you, and I'll make sure you say it so that you get it right. If you tell me what you have said, I'll give you 1,000 bob. Are you ready? Yes. Are you ready? Okay, say this after me with enthusiasm, with some passion, with some oomph, with some charisma. They're gonna do us.
They're gonna do us.
Are the never doers. Small deeds done are better love than great deeds planned. It's easier to stay in action than to start an action. Beginning is halfway done. Great things are accomplished through tiny moves. But nothing is accomplished by standing still. Be not afraid of moving slowly. Be afraid of standing still. What I am to be, I am busy becoming right now by the choices that I am making. 1,000 bob for you right now. And this is what we're going to do. You just need to quote, just say what you have said. I've given you 7 statements. If you quote 5 correctly, 1,000 bob. 70% performance. Not much. Don't paraphrase. You paraphrase, you get a 0. You just say what you have said. 5 out of 7 statements, 1,000 bob. Some money. Where are the people from Kiabu? All right, all right. Anyone? Okay. Thank you for saving my tea. Don't worry about the statements. I just wanted to check whether you're alert. But let me just go through them very quickly. They're gonna do us or they never do us. Have you ever heard people saying, when I start doing real estate, my God, you don't know me. I have some business acumen. When I a swag like that of Bishop. But they never start. They're always in the journey of starting. We call them the gonna do us. The gonna do us are the doers. Small deeds done are better loved than great deeds planned. I would rather you take a small step today or buying one bag of cement, real estate, rather than buying 20 lorries in your head only. Small deeds done are better loved than great deeds planned. And I'm going to give you my personal examples of how we do small things. Because I can tell you greatness is not one big phenomenal thing. It is small things that are done every day. Every day. Let me say this. I can predict where you'll be in 10 years with a very high degree of certainty by studying what you're doing today. Success doesn't happen. It is happening. It's accumulation of things you're doing. A lot of Kenyans have missed this very basic truth. Success doesn't happen. You'll never wake up one day you are successful. It is happening right now. It's about what you do every day. So you'd rather do small things. What is a small thing? Yes, I would rather start with that one simple matatu. Because my dream is when SGR opens, I'll run railways. I'll buy a train. It's easier to stay in action than to start an action. I guarantee you that. You'd rather be doing something small because getting started is the most difficult thing. It's easier to stay in action than to start an action. That part when you're starting is the most difficult part of it. The 4th statement I gave you, beginning is halfway done. Beginning is halfway done. Some of you have done construction. You build a residential or a commercial building, and you know the moment you lay down the foundation stone, the job was as good as done. I'm a writer. I've authored a number of books. Some of you have read my books. And I can tell you right now I'm writing a book based on this seminar. It's called You Don't Need a Job. This is a book I'm writing to people who are employed, not those who are in business. Because I'm very personal and very particular with this, because there's no single company or any employer who will teach you what I'm teaching you. They'll teach you about teamwork and performance management and evaluation. They'll teach you, in summary, I need a job. Nobody will teach you, I don't need a job. The 4th statement I gave you, great things are accomplished through tiny moves, but nothing is accomplished by standing still. Great things are accomplished through tiny moves, but nothing is accomplished by standing still. The 5th statement I gave you, be not afraid of moving slowly, be afraid of standing still. Be not afraid of moving slowly, be afraid of standing still. I'll disturb your pace for just a moment. I want to take a walk. I'm walking towards Jeremy. Tell me the truth. At this speed, will I ever reach where Jeremy is? Okay, let me try another speed. And now I'm taking another walk. I'm taking another walk. Do you think I'll ever reach there? I'll reach, eh? Be not afraid of tiny moves. Be afraid of standing still. And it's true. A lot of people who reached greatness took very small steps, but they took steps. They took steps. The last statement I gave you, what I am to be, I am busy becoming right now by the choices that I am making. What I am to be, I am busy becoming right now by the choices I am making. There are people here whose dream is similar to that of Martin Luther King. They want to advocate for rights, perhaps in a given area, children's rights. That's your vision. That's your vision. You want to speak for the marginalized. Believe me, you will never speak for them. You are busy speaking for them. You see, leadership is not forcing yourself on people. It's a privilege from followers. You don't need to tell people to follow you. They notice it and follow you. So you're on the move because you believe in what you're doing. Then God sets resources to accomplish that vision. So you're already on the move. Let me say this, because this is critical for me. Remember we began with 10 myths about success. If there's one thing you can pick at this juncture, success will never happen one day. It's busy happening. By analyzing what you do from the time you wake up to the time you sleep, period. It's busy happening. You only need to check that, what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. There will be no skyrocket idea that will ever come from the moon. It's a question of what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. Isn't it interesting that Jesus Christ finished his mission in only 3 years? And I know he finished because he said it. He said, I have finished the work you gave me. He said it. Very few people on this planet have ever made such a statement. Very few people. But every day, for those 3 years, every day, he never allowed distractions. At some point, he would tell the disciples and the people who wanted him to remain in one town, hey, listen, I'm going to go to the other cities as well. I have a mission. I have a very clear job description. Let's go to number 4. Comparisons. Comparisons. From the word, compare. There was a Tanzanian athlete who was scheduled for marathon in Mexico. During the race, he hurt his leg so badly that he couldn't run. About 4 hours, he was approaching the finishing line, and the reporters went over to him and asked him, how come you kept on running 4 hours after the medals were already awarded? What was your motivation? What was your driving force? And he looked straight into the eyes of the journalists and said the following words, excuse me, gentlemen and ladies, when my country sent me to this country and paid the air ticket, they never sent me here to compare myself with the other athletes. They sent me here to finish the race. I want to pick a lesson out of that, because things they don't want with money they don't have to impress people they don't like. You see, my sister Melanie, you're doing so well in construction, but you're still new. If the next thing you do is to buy a VX V8 utustue, how utatustue tutakuhurumia. You know what I mean? We are doing something ustue mtu mwingine tunastuka. You know what people will start saying, Patrick? Ameralisha tu kwa flat. Usijaribu kustua watu. Are we communicating? Hakuna mtu unastua. Do you know there's a tendency with many of us thinking people are really thinking about you. Can I tell you the truth? They are not. There are too many problems to really think about you. They are not. They're not bothered. Don't do it for them. Don't do it for them. You see, excellence is not where you are. Again, it's where other people are. Excellence is where you are. Again, it's where you're supposed to be. What should be our attitude? Compete against excellence. Compete against your maximum potential. Compete against your goals in life. Compete against your aspirations. Compete to finish your race. Compete to be all you can ever be. A friend of mine called 5. He left Moi University last year. He's gotten 4 awards. Last week he was in South Africa. And the young man decided, hey, I'm not going to postpone. I'm not going to wait for anything. He had a concept which, of course, nobody believed in him as a youngster from college. And he decided to try it out anyway. Car tracking system. But what was he doing? Working on his product. Working on his product. Meanwhile, other young men who were with him in college walikuwa wanamstua because they were being paid 40K, 50K. Wanamstua. And I can guarantee you he concentrated on his product. You know, God never intended us to perform equally. Let me refresh your memory. The master was going on a distant land, and he decided to give some talents One guy was given 5 talents. He worked very hard. In total, he returned how many? 10. Thank you so much. What did the master say? Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Enter ye into the joy of the Lord. Okay, let's see whether we can remember. Another servant was given some 2 talents. He worked very hard. He returned how many? 4. Perfect. What did the master say? Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Enter into the joy of the Lord. Notice, they were commended equally. They didn't perform equally. So the master didn't expect them to perform equally. Why? He didn't endow them equally. He didn't expect equal returns on his investment. So they were commended equally. You're wasting time to compete with someone else. I have some unique gifts. Paul, you have some unique gifts. You try to become like Kenyajui, you go wrong. I try to become like Salome, I go wrong. Because the master wanted me to be extremely original for his own purposes. So he never wanted me to be like Angela. Angela did her master's at an earlier age than I did. I was her supervisor. But that's God's plan for her life. But then there was another character. He was given 1 talent. He returned how many? 1. And he began to accuse the master. I knew you were a hard master. You were like reaping where you did not sow. Then the master said, okay, fine. Why didn't you give my money to EcoBank? I would have gotten it back with some interest. Go to the outer darkness where there's swelling and gnashing of teeth. I don't need to explain to you theologically, he was sent to hell. The Bible never says he committed adultery. Now, this story was never given by the Apostle Peter. This story was not given by the Apostle Paul. This story was given by Christ himself. For the benefit of those who go to church once a year, this story is in Matthew 25. Matthew 25. Focus on maximizing your potential. Don't compare yourself with others. The truth is there will always be people ahead of you. There will always be people behind you. If you want to live a very disappointed life, compete with others. Number 5. Discouragements. Discouragements. I'm trying to leave the lead.